My name's Duddits, I do builds and stuff. Today's video is about the two-tailed fox with its very unique 3 damage type rockets, Void, Solar and Arc. And what did the fox say? The fox said, I am absolutely excellent for elemental herning. It applies Void, Solar and Arc off one rocket, which is absolutely fantastic for elemental herning. So I'm going to be showing you a little cheeky setup for that, so stay with me, I'll break it down. So the two-tailed fox, it's an exotic rocket launcher. It's got the perk on there, twin tails. It shoots 2 rockets, 1 void and 1 solar that can track onto the same target. It's also got the perk on there, play with your prey. The void rocket suppresses enemies, so it suppresses with the void, and then the solar rocket also scorches. So void and solar are ticked. Now the catalyst, the third tail, also adds another rocket to the volley that deals arc damage that jolts combatants. So with one rocket, we're going to be able to jolt, suppress, and scorch, which is very nice and very unique. So, quick little show what it does. You'll see just after 3 volleys there. That's just one rocket. So it's always been sort of really decent for damage, never been like meta or anything like that. But it's very good. You see there, Void, Solar, and Arc. And obviously, these apply the elemental debuffs. You're going to see Carl there is scorched. He is also suppressed and is also jolted. Like, as I mentioned, it's never really been like an ultimate DPS weapon. It's never been like top of the list. It's always been extremely useful, but never been at top of the list for meta rotations. But with a new perk that's coming to the game, Elemental Herning, dealing unique elemental damage, grants this weapon a stacking bonus for an improved duration. This bonus is increased for kinetic weapons. So I've got this one on the Unvoiced from the new Sunder Doctrine dungeon. Obviously this is Void, it's an elemental weapon. The maximum damage you can get with elemental weapons is 35%, and that's 5 stacks. Now, Two-Tailed Fox will give you the 3 stacks straight away, which is 20%, which is pretty good. But on kinetic weapons, this Predif's Revenge, kinetic weapons actually get a higher damage increase, up to 40%. So if you get a 5 stack, 40%, and a 3 stack is still a very nice 30% damage increase. So that's just pretty good on its own. So just like so, really with the Two-Tailed Fox, as you've seen, the Solar Void and the Arc, just that on its own is going to proc you times 3 elemental herning on that bottom left, which is again, that is going to be a 30% on kinetic and a 20% on elemental weapons, which is not too shabby at all, just for one rocket. If you add in something like Cold Snap Grenade, Arcane Needle on the Warlock, that's your other 2 elements ticked off. So you've got your Stasis and your Strand, your Void, Solar and Arc from your rocket. And it's very easy to do. Times 5 elemental herning on that bottom left, which is a whopping 30% damage on kinetic weapons. So it's very easy to do, and it's really important that I wanted to set something up that you don't really have to force what you're doing. I wanted it to come naturally. So throwing a Cold Snap Grenade and an Arcane Needle is very natural. And of course, if we are on the Prismatic subclass, which I would suggest running for elemental herning, we've got the Freezing Singularity grenades and other grenades, but on the Warlock one, that is going to apply Stasis and Void as well. So that's just another way to sort of keep that elemental herning going, or another way to apply it, if you like, just applying it. So very useful fox indeed. Ticking the 3 off straight away. Applying your Arcane Needle, your Cold Snap Grenade, or your Pocket Singularity. Either way, you're going to have multiple ways to proc the damage types to keep that stack going. Now, as I mentioned, we're on a Prismatic subclass. I'm on my Warlock, so we may as well go with something like Spirit of the Star Eater to total our DPS up. I'm actually running a Nova Bomb on this specific setup. I just want to say I'm not going to go too much into this specific build. I will leave a dim link, but there's plenty of different options. Star Eater Scales, Spirit of Osmiomancy, Spirit of Necrotic, something like that. But if you get a times 6 Nova Bomb going with your Star Eaters, that already puts out some massive damage. And you could sort of get the times 5 stack and your times 6 Nova Bomb going pretty easily, just like so. All I'm doing basically here is doing what you've seen. I'm going to throw my Cold Snap, hit with my Arcane Needle, Two-Tailed Fox, Nova Bomb, switch to your Predifs, get your elemental herning going, times 5, and you'll also notice with the Predifs it's got the time loss magazine, which also fits this excellently, but we'll go into that in a moment. And it does last for a very long time. You'll just see in this clip here I actually run out, but it's a good 20 seconds of elemental herning, so it's an absolutely massive damage increase, 40% for a very, very long time. And with it being so easy to proc with a two-tail fox, this could be extremely interesting for some DPS rotations. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the old two-tail fox has always been a bit cheeky, a little bit useful for certain things in the game, various different little tricks and tips. I.e. this one, I know this is not new, this has been in the game a long time, but you can actually break the witness's buttons, not my gumdrop buttons, yep, his gumdrop buttons, you can actually destroy them with the two-tail fox, so you can actually cheese it, just like so, and you're pretty much free to go. You can set a whole DPS phase up for your teammates, you can go in there on your own, break every single button, LFG for a couple of people, get a few people in, go straight onto DPS phase, and then wreck. Now, I will say, I know Queen Breakers is extremely strong at the moment, but if people are looking for a way to add two-tail fox into a damage rotation for maybe solos or something like that, or lowmans, this is your way to do it. Again, I forgot I actually had NooLvL on there, so I got a bit carried away. I went a bit too far forward on that play. I usually run Needle Storm on this bit, but there you go. NooLvL, Cold Snap, Arcane Needle, two-tail fox, and that's your times 5 for 20 seconds. And your time lost magazine on the Praetor's Revenge is absolutely nuts, because when you use your super, this weapon's magazine size is doubled for a long duration, and it reloads from reserves, so you can literally spam that time lost magazine with your elemental herning times 5 for a good 20 seconds without really having to reload. I had rewind rounds, elemental herning on this, and you can literally just fire for a very long period of time. So that's the video. Let me know what you think. I was interested to hear some other options. Like I said, I will leave a dim link for this specific build, and I am aware there will be other builds, but this is the one I found very natural to me. NooLvL times 6 Feast of Light, when you can get that going, and your Arcane and your Cold Snap. I hope you found this helpful. Have a great day.